Oh, hello there. I'm Bilchan.
I'm Nimikung.
I'm Banchan.
In this class, I'll read to all of you Chapter 7, Section 3 of The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes.
As.
Ah.
The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Author Conan Doyle. Chapter 7, Section 3. The Gate of the Alpha. Sherlock Holmes looked deeply chagrined. From his pocket and threw it down on the slab. Of a man whose disgust is too deep for words. If he stopped under a lamppost and laughed in the hearty, was peculiar to him. The beacon protruding out of his pocket. "I bet," said he. In front of him. "Wager." "Well, Watson, we yarn, I fancy, of our quest. We should go on to this my suckshot tonight. Reserve it for tomorrow. There are others besides ourselves who are anxious about the matter. Had just left centre of the circle of yellow light which was torn by the swinging lamp while Breckenridge, the salesman, framed in the door of his stall, shaking his fist fiercely at the cringing figure. He shouted, "I wish you were all at the devil together. Who? You bring my suckshot here and I'll answer her, have you to? Do with it. They're all the same," whined the little man. "Well then, that's my swell. You can ask. The King of Prussia, for all I care. Had enough of it. Get out of this." He rushed fiercely forward, the inquirer flitted away. Into the darkness. "Hot to Brixton Road," whispered Holmes. "Come with me." Lounged round the flaring stalls, him upon the shoulder. Sprang round, gaslight that every vestige of colour had been driven from his face. "Who are you, then? What do you want?" he asked in a quavering voice. "Excuse me," said Holmes blandly. "You put to the salesman just that. You. Who are you?" "Name is Sherlock Holmes." "Excuse me, I know everything of it. Are endeavouring to trace some geese which were sold by my suckshot Brixton Road to a salesman named Breckenridge, by him in turn to Mr. Windidate of the Alpha, and by him to his club, which Mr. O, sir, longed to meet," cried the little fellow. With outstretched hands and quivering fingers, Holmes held a four-wheeler which was passing it in a cosy room rather than in this wind-swept marketplace, said he. "Well, tell me before we go further." The man hesitated for an instant. "My name is John Robinson," he answered with a sidelong glance. No, the real name," said Holmes sweetly, "of the stranger." "Well then," said he, "precisely so. The Hotel Cosmopolitan." "Pray step into the cab." From one to the other of us with half frightened, half hopeful eyes, a catastrophe. Then he stepped into the cab. We were back in the sitting room at Baker Street, our drive. But the height and breathing of our new companion, the claspings and unclaspings of his hands, spoke of the nervous tension within him. "Here we are," said Holmes cheerily as we filed into the room. "Looks very seasonable in this weather. You look old, Mr. Ryder. Poor. Take the basket chair. This little matter of yours. Now then, is or are I fancy of that goose?" It was one bird which you were intertwined covered with emotion. "Oh, so," he cried. "Yes, and a most remarkable bird it proved. You should take an interest in it. Teeth bunniest, brightest little blowing that ever was seen." To his feet and clutched the mantelpiece with his right hand. Strong box and held up the Blue carbuncle which shone out like a star with a cold. Brilliant, many-pointed radiance. Face uncertain, other to claymore. To disown it. The game's up, said Holmes quietly. Hold up. Man, or you'll be into the fire. Cave him in. Back into his chair, Watson. Blood enough to go in for. Felony with impunity. Bandy. Toy. Now he looks a little more human. It is for a moment he had staggered and nearly. Cullen, brandy brought a tinge of colour into his cheeks, frightened as that. His accuser. I have almost every link in my hands, all the proofs which I could possibly need tell me. Still make the case complete. You had heard, Ryder, who told me of it, said he in a crackling voice. I see her led a ship's wedding maid. Well, you as it has been for better men before you, not very scrupulous in the means used. It seems to me, Ryder, that there is the making of a very pretty villain in you. That this man Horner, the plumber, might have before, and that suspicion would rest the more readily on him. Did you do then? And your confederate second you managed that he should be the man sent for. Then, when he had left, you rifled the jewel case, raised the alarm, and had this unfortunate man arrested. Rogan clutched at my companion's knees. For God's sake, shrieked. Think of my father, of my mother. Hearts, I never wept on before. I never will again. I'll swear it on a Bible. Oh, court. For Christ's sake, get back into your chair, said Holmes sternly. It is very well to cringe and crawl now. I will fly, Mr. Holmes. We'll leave the country, sir. I'll talk about that. How came this stone into the goose, into the open market? Tell us the truth, his parched lips. I will tell. You would just as it happened, said he. When Horner had been arrested, would be best for me to get away with the stone at once. Had to search me in my room, where it would be safe. I went out as if on some commission, and I made for my sister's house, Oakshott, and lived in Brixton Road, where she fashioned foals for the market, policeman or a detective, and for all that it was a cold night. The sweat was pouring down my face before I came to Brixton Road. My sister asked me what was the matter, pale, at the hotel, and wondered what it would be best to do. Maudsley, who went to the bad in Bentonville. One day he had met me the ways of thieves, and how they could get rid of what they stole. I knew that he would be true to me, or two things about him, unto Kilburn, where he lived, and take him into my confidence. A would show me how to turn the stone into money, get to him in safety. In coming from the hotel, I might at any moment be seized and searched, and there would be the stone in my waistcoat pocket. On my feet, how I could be the best detective that ever lived. Present. And I knew that she was always as good as her word. I would take my guess now to Kilburn. There was a little shed in the yard. I drove one of the bridge of fine big one. Wait till I caught it and prying its boo. Open, stone down, it strode as far as my finger could reach. Volp, its crop. But the creature flapped and struggled to know what was the matter. Brute broke loose and fluttered off among the others. Bird. Jim, says she. Well, said I, for Christmas, so. Says she, we set yours aside for you, Jim's bird. We got. It's the big white one over yonder. Them which makes one for you and one for I think you. Ade. Says I, but if it is all the same to you, that other is a good £3 heavier, said she. Never mind. Off. The other, and I'll take it now, said I. Oh, you. Like, said she, a little huffed. Which is it you want? That white one with the barred tail. Oh, very well. Well, I did what she said, Mr. Holmes. All the way to Coburn. I told my pal what I had. Then too. He laughed until he choked the goose. My heart turned to water, the stone, and I knew that some terrible mistake had occurred. The bird rushed back to my sisters and hurried into the backyard. There was not a bird to be seen there. Where are they all, Maggie? I cried. Gone to the dealers, Breckenridge, a barred tail. I asked, yes. Jem, there were two Bartell twins. Well then. Of course I saw it all, off as hard as my feet would carry me to this man Breckenridge. He had sold the lot at once me. As to where they had gone, you heard him yourselves tonight. Well, he has always answered me like that, going mad, sometimes. I think that I am myself a branded thief, sold my character. Helped me, sobbing with his face buried in his hands. There was a long silence upon the edge of the table. Though, "Ehat," said he. "What, sir?" Well, no more words, and no more words were needed. There was a rush to the stairs, the bend of a door, footfalls from the street. After all, Watson, said Holmes for his clay pipe efficiencies. If Horner were in danger, it would be another thing. Fellow will not appear against him, and the case must collapse. That I am commuting a felony, saving us all. This fellow will not go around again, terribly frightened. Send him to gaol now. For life. Besides, it is the season of forgiveness, and our way must be singular and whimsical problem, own reward. If you will have the goodness to touch the bell, doctor, we will begin another investigation in which to be continued.